Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Barbara Stanley Boland, Commencement Director. On behalf of the School District of the City of St. Charles West High School, its administration, faculty, and staff, it is my pleasure to welcome you to these 47th annual commencement exercises. Please rise as I present to you our district administrators, school board, school administrators, faculty, and the St. Charles West High School class of 2024. you'll please remain standing. And gentlemen, if you will kindly remove your caps for playing of the national anthem. Please be seated. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Superintendent Dr. Jason Seifert.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Education, Central Office team, I want to welcome you to today's St. Charles West High School graduation. How are we feeling today? Oh, come on, Warriors. I started this day with Pirate Nation, and I'm ending it with Warrior Nation. Hey, Warriors, how you feeling today? That's better. Congratulations to the graduates of 2024 and to all the parents, guardians, family members, and friends celebrating with us today. It's an honor to be a part of this graduation ceremony and to serve the City of St. Charles School District, which I believe is the best school district around, as the superintendent. You can clap for that. Thank you to our staff for everything you've all done for these students. Thank you to parents, guardians, and family members for all of your support as well. Together, we have guided these graduates to becoming their best. A special thank you goes out to Bart Bolin, the SC West staff, the tech department, the maintenance departments for all their hard work and dedication. Let's give them a hand as well. All of their efforts go into making this graduation the perfect celebration for this wonderful class of SCW seniors. I'm so proud of you, Warrior class of 2024, and congratulations again. The entire City of St. Charles School District staff wish you the very best in your next steps of your life's journey. At this time, I would like to make some important introductions. First off, from the Board of Education, we have our president with us today, Dr. Donna Towers. And from your SC West administrative team, we're starting off with Dr. Scott Vogel, your principal. Mr. Jack Williamson, assistant principal. Mrs. Jessica Hoban, assistant principal. Mr. Eric Shore is our activities director. And from our Success Campus, we have our director, Mr. Brett Coburnis. The other two fine gentlemen we have up on the stage with us, Mr. Andrew Scott, going to do a little speaking today. And then I think a little singing is going to come from Mr. Charles Stansel. Is that correct? God loves you, Charles. That's it for me. You're not here to hear me speak, but again, congratulations, family, friends, graduates, well done. At this point, Dr. Towers, it's all yours. And you don't want your step stool? Or do you want it? That's no joke. We do have one for her. You want to try it or no?
Yeah, get it
did do it.
All right.
Make sure you're. Boy, if the president goes down, I'm in trouble. Okay.
Ta-da.
There we go. Dr. Towers, everybody. Oh, I'm taking my photo with me.
Thank you. I should do this like a band director. Wouldn't I? All right. Okay, that's better. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon. And it is an exciting time, now that we've gotten past the step stool, it's an exciting time for all of you, and a time to receive some advice from lots of people, including me. I'm here to give you some thoughts of my own. I'd like to start with this quote. It's from Oscar Wilde, and he said, "Success does not rush. The greatest reward is the journey." As you leave the security of high school and you venture out into the unknown territories, some of you may have a pretty clear idea of what you want to do next, and some of you may not. Some of you may feel some pressure to succeed right away. You don't want to let people down, and some of you may feel a certain set of expectations on yourself, and it's already heavy on your shoulders. This is when I want you to remember that quote. Success does not rush. The greatest reward is the journey. You won't be successful in everything you do, and that's okay. You're going to make mistakes. But you're going to learn from them, and you will continue on your journey. Winston Churchill said, "Success is the ability to go from one failure to another without any loss of enthusiasm." That's a pretty good quote. And the times that he lived in, there were lots of failures, but you kept on pursuing. So always keep your optimism. Always keep your enthusiasm. Failure at something that you've really tried to do, it's not the end. It's a chance to rethink what you've done, to make some adjustments, and to keep working toward your goal. Life isn't about the finish line. It's the journey. So don't rush to the finish line. You're going to get there. And then, when you get to that finish line, there'll be a new goal and a new finish line. Each time you succeed, you will feel that happiness that you deserve. But I hope that you'll enjoy the journey along the way. So, class of 2024, on behalf of the Board of Education, I congratulate you on your successes so far, and I wish you all the joy on the journey you're about to take.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Scott Vocal, and it continues to be my absolute pleasure to serve as the principal here at St. Charles West High School. As always, I too would like to begin by thanking a few important individuals. Thank you to Dr. Seifert, our central office staff, and the Board of Education for helping to make the City of St. Charles School District such a wonderful place to learn and grow. Thank you to our assistant principals, Mr. Jack Williamson and Mrs. Jessica Hoban, along with our activities director, Mr. Eric Schroer, for their leadership and dedication to our students. I would also like to recognize Mr. Brett Coburnis, principal of the Success Campus, Mr. Martin Hanley, director of Lewis and Clark Career Center, and Mrs. Erica Land, director of St. Charles County CAPS program. And a special thank you goes to Mrs. Barbara Stanley Boland, our commencement coordinator. She, along with her husband Riley, Mr. Ben Meyer, Mr. Andrew Scott, Mr. Garrett Neese, Mr. Trevor McGraw, Ms. Kim Polite, Ms. Eliana Polite, Mrs. Christy Burley, and Mrs. Amber Perkins, our senior class sponsor, has made this an incredibly special event befitting the occasion for all of our graduates here today. Additionally, thank you to our office staff, Ms. Donna Huster, Mrs. Rachel Holtgrew, Ms. Erica Grauman, Mrs. Christy Meyer, Mrs. Angie Rigo, Mrs. Kimmy Becker, and Mrs. Felicia Miller Harris for their assistance throughout the school year and in preparing for our event. Thank you to our custodial and district maintenance staff for all of the work that they've done to make sure that our facilities are ready for our ceremony this afternoon. And thank you to our district technology staff, Mr. Brady Boyer, Mr. Jeremy Jackson, and Warrior Vision, for ensuring that we could hold our ceremony here while making it available to viewers at home. And thank you to our wonderful school community. Today we celebrate the class of 2024, but one of the things that makes St. Charles West such an amazing place is the support of our community and the lifelong connection that so many of our graduates have to this school. For those of you in the audience today, if you are an alumnus of St. Charles West High School, please stand so that we might recognize you and welcome you home. At this time, would the faculty and staff here today, both past and present, please rise? Our school is incredibly fortunate to have such a caring group working together to educate the young people of our community. Your care for our students and dedication to their education continues to make St. Charles West a special place. If you would, please join me in thanking our teachers and staff for everything that they have done and will continue to do for the students of St. Charles West High School. Thank you. So now you can start your timers. This brings me to you, class of 2024. I'll start by simply saying congratulations, and we are incredibly proud of each and every one of you. It's at this time each year that I sit down and I reflect on the graduating class and everything that they have accomplished over their 4 years at St. Charles West. I think about everything that they've experienced, and you've experienced a lot. I think about what might be next. I consider all of this as I try to come up with the most appropriate words of wisdom that I can leave the students with before they go out into the world. And as I reflected on this class and their experiences, I found myself coming back to that one word, wisdom. What does wisdom really mean? After all, it's not simply knowledge. You've spent the last 13 years of your life, your formal education, accumulating knowledge. You've learned to read and write and do arithmetic. You've studied algebra, geometry, advanced mathematics. You've learned about U.S. history and world civilizations. You've learned about the different facets of our government and other governments around the world. You've learned how to analyze literature, read and write poetry. You've learned the laws of physics. You've studied chemistry and biology. You've learned how to live a healthy and active lifestyle. Many of you have learned to play an instrument or to sing. You may have learned how to cook. You might be able to speak another language, and you probably know more about technology than I ever will. And hopefully you've learned all that you should have in that personal finance class. In fact, after 13 years, you might be sitting here today thinking, I have learned all the things, and thank you, hallelujah, I am done with that. The wisest of you, however, know better. All of the knowledge that you may have accumulated to this point isn't what makes you wise. You see, wisdom is in part knowing that the learning never stops. It's knowing that there is wisdom in valuing your teachers and your education. After all, over the course of the last 13 years, I am certain that you have had some wonderful teachers whom you will remember for the rest of your life. However, what I want you to remember when it comes to true wisdom is that teachers come in all shapes and sizes. Wisdom ultimately comes from your experiences and knowledge, aiding you in your ability to exercise good judgment. Reflecting on the class of 2024, I realized I myself have had a lot of teachers over the last 4 years, many of whom are sitting right in front of me here today. I realize that you all have made me wiser as a result of what I have learned from you. What have I learned from you? Well, I've learned quite a bit. For example, Carson. Carson taught me to keep my head on a swivel as I come downstairs in the morning, because you never know when you might walk downstairs at 6 a.m. and see a group of seniors sitting in your living room, donuts in hand, waiting to surprise you. That was a shock. Joyce, where are you, Joyce? Joyce taught me that I can handle a pretty fancy handshake, but that TikTok dance might be way above my pay grade. I'm still not sure what to do with my hands. Up and back or just up? I really have no idea, Joyce. I've got nothing. You have to know your limitations. And Sunshine, Lauren Swan and Andrew Leach, you have taught me just how important it is to go through life with a smile. I don't think I've ever interacted with either one of you and not walked away in a little bit better mood than I was before that interaction. Your smile and your disposition is contagious. We all should remember that you have the ability to brighten someone's day with every interaction, so we might as well smile along the way. Sequoia, more evident than last week at the state quarterfinal soccer game, where for the first time in my life I watched a goalie leave the goalie box on one end of the field, go to receive a corner kick on the other end of the field, and score a goal, and then go back and play goalie again. And if you've got a physics question, I wouldn't be afraid to ask her about that either. We would all be wise and well served to expect as much of ourselves and be as fearless as Sequoia. Julia Steele and Vivian Jones, if I ever think to myself that I have way too much on my plate, I'll just ask myself, what would Julia and Viv do? You both have been able to explore so many activities, both in school and outside of school while here at St. Charles West, and you have been wonderful ambassadors along the way. And I am amazed at how well you have balanced it all. In fact, Julia, I looked in the yearbook. Yeah, you know what's coming. You were listed in the index no less than 20 times. That has to be some sort of record. Yeah, you can clap for that. All of you should continue to explore what interests you in order to find new passions, because it will be those passions that bring you joy throughout the rest of your life. Gage, you have taught me that our outcomes are not decided by our circumstances, and I'm proud of you. We all have a life story to tell, but the wisest of us realize that our life story does not have to define who we are or who we become. Ultimately, We have the ability to define our life in spite of the obstacles placed in front of us, instead of letting life and those obstacles define us. You all would be wise to remember that. And speaking of overcoming obstacles, Justin Shields, you have proven just how important grit and determination are to reaching your goals and chasing your dreams. I cannot tell you how impressed I have been watching you overcome multiple knee surgeries over the last few years while remaining an amazing teammate even when you couldn't participate, only to realize your dream of playing college basketball. A lesser player, a lesser teammate, and a lesser person would have given up a long time ago. You would be wise to chase your dreams with the determination of Justin. Jonathan Novelli, your musical talent is incredibly impressive. For those of you who don't know, Jonathan has been recognized as an all-state bass player in the state of Missouri for the Missouri All-State Jazz Band, and being that he was the only bass player selected, that would make him the best bass player in the state of Missouri. Now, that doesn't just happen. Of course, there's talent. Obviously, there is a passion for music, and there is a dedication to his craft. And while that is all very impressive, what makes it even more so is the humility that Jonathan continues to display. Work hard, stay grounded, stay humble. Success will come. Honestly, when it comes to the class of 2024, I could go on and on. There are a number of stories that I have yet to share, but as I have been told, some families have reservations later this evening and would like to get some pictures after the ceremony. So, I digress. Just remember, after today, you embark on the journey of the rest of your life, and each of you will choose your own unique path. Regardless of how well you plan and prepare, your path will provide you with new experiences to learn from, unexpected obstacles to conquer, and the inevitability of changes yet to come. Remember, though, that you leave us as learners who will continue to gain wisdom along the way. As Eric Hoffer, an American philosopher, stated, "In a world of change, the learners shall inherit the earth, while the learned shall find themselves perfectly suited for a world that no longer exists." Embrace the adventure that lies ahead and know that a life of learning awaits. But remember, even more than the knowledge you obtain, it will be the wisdom that you gain along the way that will provide you with everything that you need to make the world a better place. Congratulations again to the class of 2024. We are incredibly proud of you and all that you have accomplished. St. Charles West would not be what it is today without each and every single one of you. You will always be a part of our Warrior family. Congratulations and good luck.
Fellow classmates, although this ceremony is a celebration of a milestone in our lives, we would be remiss if we did not take a moment to remember those individuals who are not with us this afternoon. In honor and remembrance, we dedicate a memory chair at each St. Charles West High School commencement exercise. This chair stands as a visual reminder of those whose presence is greatly missed on this special occasion. I ask now that we pause for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you.
Don't worry, you will not need a timer for my speech. you're actually over there, my bad. But I would like to start by introducing myself. My name is Vivian Jones, and I've been a student in the St. Charles School District for 13 years. And because no amount of thank you is enough, I would like to thank the family and friends who are here today to help us with this big moment. I would also like to thank our amazing administration, faculty, and staff. Graduation is a special moment that signifies the end of an era that you've grown up. Growing up is a canon event, and for those of you who don't get the Spider-Man reference, it means that it's an event that's going to happen regardless of what your path is. I think a great thing about St. Charles West is that everyone is so different. Regardless of your path, every single one of you has matured and grown up. No matter if you were an athlete, a musician, an artist, or you've been none of those things, and today is the first day that I've seen you all year, we've all become adults together. Nothing can prepare you for the feeling of realizing that you've grown up. There's a difference between feeling grown up and realizing that you've already done it. Perhaps you feel more responsible or more mature. It's about that moment when you say, "Oh, I'm adulting today. Look at me go." Adulting is about getting that later curfew, getting an absurd amount of student debt, or voting for the first time. It's experiencing those things we've been waiting for our whole lives. But realizing that you've already done the growing up is more nostalgic. It's like a punch in the gut when you look around and reminisce on who you used to see in the mirror. I want you all to take a second and think about when you were 5, 6, or even 7 years old. What clothes did you choose every day for school? What did you do with your hair? I know personally, I was rocking the Justice t-shirts, the aggressively straight bangs across my forehead, and of course, an awesome pair of light-up Skechers. I mean, you had to have those. But more importantly, what did you think about on a daily basis? What problems took up all that space in your little brain? Now I have one final question for you. Did you notice how your current worries aren't the same ones that you had back then? It's because you've evolved from the 2015 edition of you. For the past 13 years, every conversation, every lesson you didn't fall asleep in, every single day that you walked into this building, you learned something new. You learned that your ideal method of studying is flashcards and not the whiteboard method. You learned about empathy, you learned about friendship, and unfortunately, you learned about sadness, disappointment, and stress. High school wasn't about the hardware that you'd have around your neck today or having your name up on one of these walls. It was about using what you learned to find yourself. Every single one of you should be proud of who you've become. So my last words to you today are, go. Go out into the world and do something so awesome that in 15 years, I won't see you on Instagram and go, ugh, I went to high school with that guy. Don't be that person. And now, this would not be a graduation speech without a few words from Ferris Bueller. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you just might miss it. Thank you.
finally the day. And we have come so far from the freshmen that first walked the halls of St. Charles West in 2020. And because this is the last day I may see most of you again, I have a slight confession. In August, I, Julia Caroline Steele, was dreading my senior year. Me, Julia Caroline Steele. And not because I thought I'd be sad, but because I was already over high school. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I really couldn't afford to hate high school this year. I had a few too many compromising positions at West. Yet for the first half of the year, I was really pushing myself to keep up this facade that school was going to be great, when really I was just bored. I let all these last events fly past me and found myself upset that I didn't really care. Things like homecoming, the fall play, Friday night football games, pep assemblies, just slipped through my fingers without much thought. Most of us turned 18 this year, and on my birthday, I remember crying to my mom about how I wasn't ready to grow up. I wanted more moments of just being a kid. Yet when I was in elementary school, I wanted nothing more than to just be 13 so I could be referred to as a teenager. And when I was 13, I dreamed of what I'd look like when I was 16, athletic, no braces and supermodel hair, what my car was gonna be, and all the things I'd do in high school. And then when I was 16, I pictured myself at 18 buying all these lottery tickets and getting credit cards and finally leaving St. Charles West. But on my 18th birthday, I wanted nothing more than to just be 16 again. We were all so small not that long ago, and we've spent our whole lives wanting to get older until all of a sudden we wish we were on Neverland. And even after my emotional breakdown on my 18th birthday, I created a countdown on my phone until the last day of senior year. I once again only focused on high school ending, but with about 10 days left, I started to sweat. The St. Charles School District has been all I've ever known, and in August, I will be hours away from the only place I've called home. And our whole lives we've been told that high school will fly by, and suddenly it was gone, and I felt like I wasted it. And whether you felt fully fulfilled or even slightly empty as your high school career comes to an end, let me bring you, and possibly myself, some assurance. It is natural to feel apprehension about the unknown. But with the utmost confidence, I can tell you, every success, setback, panic attack, laughing fit has constructed you into the person you are today, and you will be better for it. And of course, you were ready for high school to be over, because it is beyond exciting to start a new chapter. And high school has not been all fun. I would know I took calculus, but I have created lifelong memories that will be forever carved in the etchings of my mind. So embrace and challenge yourself to become a better person as you forge the paths into your future. However, even as you take on your new life, never forget to look back down the paths already taken. Appreciate the friends who you've laughed with and the teachers who guided you throughout your education. And as for your family that has supported you along the way, either chosen or by birth, be sure to thank them any chance you get. Sorry. I know I would be nowhere without my genius father, Dwayne, my loving mother, Amanda, and my built-in best friend and younger brother, Lucas. They are the inspiration for all of my motivations. So I'm sitting in class, in my final days of high school, reminiscing on the people and the memories of the past, and suddenly I'm devastated. Not that I have the AP Bio exam the next day, but that I won't see you people next fall. And for a lot of us, the only thing we will share together after today are these memories. So what I'm trying to tell you is, even if you are sitting out there counting down the moments until you can finally leave, take a moment, dig through your memories, and hang on to those 13 years for a little longer. Hold on to that 7-year-old version of you when you were spunky and had a loud mouth. And to some of you, it's okay. Not all of us grew out of it. And take one breath in. Thank you. Because tomorrow, high school will just be another memory in the complicated trail of our future. Congratulations, class of 2024. We out!
I love you guys.
Mr. Scott is the choir and orchestra director at St. Charles West High School, where he has recently completed his 21st year of teaching. While serving the school district in this capacity, he is also grateful for the times when he was able to teach music to our students with special needs, as well as being the assistant band director. Mr. Scott was the St. Louis Suburban Choir Coordinator for 3 years. This year, Mr. Scott is celebrating 20 years as the worship leader for Bogey Hills Baptist Church. And prior to teaching, Mr. Scott was a DJ for the jazz radio station 88.7 FM WSIE. Mr. Scott has a bachelor's degree in music education from Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, and a master's of education in secondary administration from William Woods University. He is grateful for the continuing love and support from his family and has loved how welcoming the people of St. Charles have been during his 20 years of living in this community.
Dr. Towers, should I use your step stool? Okay. I think I'll be fine without it. Good afternoon, and thank you to the class of 2024 for inviting me to speak at this year's commencement ceremony. Having attended this ceremony for 20 years, I just want to say what an honor and privilege it is to be here in this moment with you all this afternoon. And before I go any further, there are a few special people I would like to honor. First, the faculty of St. Charles West, both past and present. I have learned so much from them. The people of Bogey Hills Baptist Church, especially Pastor Kobe and his family. For 20 years, my church has become my second family. We've been through so much together. I cannot imagine life without any of them, as they have stood by me through the joys and hardships that life has brought me. My 4 grandparents, who have now all passed away, I will always treasure their love and wisdom. My 3 wonderful children, who constantly bring me great joy. My sister Rachel and her family, and the love they bring to others. My parents, Milton and Carla, and my incredibly lovely and supportive wife, Jen. I am grateful that my wife and parents could join us here today as they continue to give their unconditional love and support in my life. I love you. Most importantly, I thank God for guiding me and carrying me through each day. Well, now it's time to shift our focus on all of you, the class of 2024. Can you believe you're almost done? Or maybe I should say, can you believe everything is about to begin? I'd say you have about an hour left before everything starts for you. Now, if you're wondering why I said everything starts rather than something like things are coming to an end, it's because that's just what commencement means, a beginning or a start. So I ask you, What are you starting when you leave here today? After you spend time celebrating your accomplishments as a graduate, how will you begin this new journey of life, of adulthood, that leaves a legacy? I think Devin Harris would want me to say this in maybe another way. In this new life, how will you ensure that you will eat all the crumbs, including the plate? How'd I do, Devin? All right. Basically, this means how will you be exemplary in everything you do? Everything. I'm a belief that leaving a legacy means living your life in such a way where you will matter to people, and people will matter to you. While our education and careers are important, I believe that all of that is meaningless if we do not know how to live and relate to one another. There is a lot of hate and division in our world today. Class of 2024, will you be the generation that begins to break the cycle? Will you live a life that reflects that every person you encounter on this earth matters to you? Will your life have such an impact on others that people will be drawn to you? How will you make an impact? Where do you start after you leave here today? Well, I believe it starts by being a person of integrity, doing all the right things even when no one is watching, and striving to do them with excellence every single time. Being someone who holds themselves to a high standard. With all the mediocrity in our society today, this is something that will draw others toward you. Avoid the mediocrity. Don't be a person who settles for the good enough. Ironically, good enough tends to be something that is not good at all. And it never completely satisfies the needs of the person the work was being done for. No matter how big or how small the task may seem, hold yourself to a high standard. Do it with excellence and integrity. If people can entrust you with doing the small things at a high level, they'll be much more likely to honor you with doing the hard things that equate to being a highly successful individual. Now let's talk about those hard things for a moment. Not everyone is willing to do them. However, class of 2024, part of your legacy can be that you are a people willing to do whatever it takes to do the hard things. Don't cut corners just to get by and hope that the work you've done barely meets the standard. I will tell you that businesses who do this do not last long. And I encourage you to be the one who is willing to do the hard things, and especially when others are not. People will be so drawn to you because they know you are willing to do whatever it takes to get something accomplished, that you are willing to do the hard things. So when it comes to the hard things, that also means being results-oriented. I have found that people get tired of excuses very, very quickly. The more energy you spend getting results instead of giving excuses will be energy that is well spent. People that give excuses are the ones who are not chosen for the relevant or important tasks. They become the bench warmers of society, waiting for their turn, yet it never seems to come. Getting results is what gets you noticed. It's what puts you on the right path. It's what gets you ahead in life. So don't give excuses, but instead get results. Before I leave the podium today, I'd be remiss if I didn't share something that I have found is one of the most important things that we have in this life. And that is how we live among others. Or to put it another way, how we love others. I can't help but wonder that no matter what you choose to do in life, that you will be around other people in varying degrees and situations. I mean, there are currently over 8 billion people in this world, so it's probably a foregone conclusion that you will be around some of them, whether you choose to or not. Our education and future careers are meaningless if we don't know how to relate to people. People matter. I'm going to say that again. People matter. And I'm of the belief that if we know how to live among each other, then we will leave behind a far greater legacy than how high we moved up the career ladder, how much money we made in our lifetime, or perhaps how well liked or famous we were on whatever phone app was popular at the time. Class of 2024, I believe that your generation has an opportunity to set a new example of how to bring a sense of unity into our culture. But you must be intentional about it. I want to tell you about my grandfather for a minute, because this man was a great example of what it means to leave a legacy. To this day, anyone who knew my grandfather would tell you how kind, generous, and loving he was. He was a humble farmer who lived near Pocahontas, Illinois. That's about an hour's drive from here. And let me just say, this man had it figured out when it came to how to love people. Not once did I ever see him turn away from anyone who may not have thought or acted like him. I think the thing that stood out to me the most was how he loved and associated with people that were absolutely nothing like him in any way, and particularly when it came to their worldview or their politics. He never let the politics or the issues of the day affect his relationships with people, because he knew how much people mattered. He knew that people were the most important things on this planet, and no matter who they were to be honored with love and respect. My grandpa also knew the importance of how winning the argument was not the most important thing, especially if it meant compromising a friendship with someone. He knew that love and respect was more important, and was willing to set the argument aside if it meant preserving his relationship with that person. My grandfather inspires me every day to live this way. For example, some of the people on our school's faculty, I can tell you, are completely opposite of me when it comes to my worldview and politics. However, I never let this get in the way of my friendships with them, and I absolutely love working with those people. Those people matter. The relationships I have with them are more important. The next time you find yourself in a quiet moment, ask yourself this question: how do I respond to people that are nothing like me, or have beliefs that are different from mine? What can I do as a responsible adult to promote love and unity wherever life takes me? So my final challenge to the class of 2024 is to rise above what some might call the cancel culture, or to rise above this idea that if you disagree with me, then you must hate me. Our founding fathers passionately disagreed with each other all the time, and yet they were able to create something monumental called the United States of America. We can agree to disagree and not compromise our relationships. You can do this, class of 2024. Dare to be different from our culture. Provide an environment of love, unity, and respect for one another. Learn how to love each other despite our differences. I believe this is how your generation can leave a lasting legacy. St. Charles West class of 2024, when you leave here today, I hope that you will go out into the world as someone who will be a hardworking, results-driven, loving individual with integrity. As Dr. Emmett Brown says at the end of the Back to the Future trilogy, your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. Thank you.
As a gift to St. Charles West from the class of 2024, we present the annual Trophy Case Fund. This year's graduating seniors will be the first of many generations to contribute uniform trophy cases to the halls of our school. We hope to create a long-standing tradition amongst the future classes that enhances St. Charles West's image.
guys ready? The class of 2024 recorded a number of accomplishments during their 4 years at St. Charles West, both academically and in extracurricular activities. This class has earned a reported $3,989,974 in scholarship money offered. The class of 2024 has 6 Bright Flight recipients. These students have a composite score of 31 or above on their ACT. Would these students please stand as I call your name and remain standing? Anna Catherine Bauman. Abigail Govero. Tyler Horn. Dominic Metlock. Grishma Mulpru. Emma Thornburg. Thank you. 7 students are graduating with a perfect unweighted grade point average of a 4.0, meaning that they've earned an A in every class that they have ever taken at St. Charles West. Please stand as I call your name and remain standing. Abigail Govero. Lola Irizarry. Dominic Metlock. Grishma Mulpru. Sequoia Ross. Julia Steele. And Olivia Zier. Thank you. After 8 semesters, there are 14 students graduating in the top 10% of their class. Would these students please stand when called and remain standing? Anna Catherine Bauman. Alexa Cruz Chinokua. Ella Dian. Abigail Govero. Tyler Horn. Lola Irizarry. Vivian Jones. Dominic Metlock. Grishma Mulpru. Tyler Prize. Sequoia Ross. Colton Sievers. Julia Steele, and Olivia Zier. Thank you. 47 students in the class of 2024 have qualified currently for A+ designation through the Missouri Department of Higher Education's A+ program. Would all of our A+ graduates please stand? Thank you. Eight students are graduating having received the Missouri Seal of Biliteracy. These students have attained proficiency in English and at least one other language prior to high school graduation. Would these 8 students please stand? Congratulations. Thank you. The class of 2024 has 39 students who have earned honors designation and are graduating with cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude recognition. 12 students are graduating cum laude. These students are graduating with a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.85 on a weighted scale. Would students graduating with cum laude status please stand? Thank you. 9 students are graduating magna cum laude. These students are graduating with a cumulative grade point average of 4.05 or better on a weighted scale. Would students graduating magna cum laude please stand? Thank you. And last but not least, we have 18 students who are graduating summa cum laude. This is our highest academic honor, and these students are graduating with a cumulative grade point average of at least a 4.25 on a weighted scale. Would students graduating summa cum laude please stand? Thank you. 74% of the class of 2024 is furthering their education at a technical school, community college, or four-year university. 6% have let us know that they are planning to join the workforce after graduation. And approximately 2% of the class of 2024 has informed us that they've elected to serve our country and join a military branch of service. Will our students who are going into a military branch please stand? And would our veterans in the audience please stand with them so that we might recognize your service? Thank you. Distinguished members of the Board of Education, it is my pleasure to present to you these candidates who have fulfilled the necessary requirements set forth by the School District of the City of St. Charles and the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. It is with honor that the faculty of St. Charles West High School recommends the awarding of diplomas to these 143 young ladies and gentlemen.
Julia Caroline Steele, Class President, graduating summa cum laude. Colton McKay Sievers, Class Vice President, graduating summa cum laude. Vivian Elaine Jones, graduating summa cum laude. Jonathan Joseph Novelli. Maroyin Oluwa Panil Akinyele. Alex John Anderson. Ian George Anderson. Jack Larkin Anzalone. Juliana Barcienes. Terrence Darnell Berry. Mason Anthony Bass. Alexandre Machado Baum. Anna Catherine Contram Bauman, graduating summa cum laude. Caleb Scott Becker. Ryan Nathan Beer. Luke Benedict Burley. Antonio Demetrius Bishop, Jr. Kennedy Danielle Blakemore. Sydney Carol Blaze, graduating magna cum laude. Edgar Franklin Borho. Sydney Paige Boschert. Gavin Joseph Bostic. Isabella Brasher. Xavion Lee Brock. J. Michael Burbach. Erica Rose Burke. Ricardo Daniel Caballero, Jr. Joshua Daniel Carnes. Kamani Naomi Renee Carter. Rain Brian Cherry. Jada Lynn Chittenden. Elijah Joseph Chowning. Hayden Grace Crisco, graduating magna cum laude. Aiden Michael Cole, graduating cum laude. Braden James Cooper. Louisa Annie Correa Bennett. Alexa Giselle Cruz Chinokua, graduating summa cum laude. Evan Lee Harrison Day. Ella Marie Dian, graduating summa cum laude. Aliciana Delgado Mitchell. Arnesia Sky Dillard, graduating cum laude. Alexander Curtis Dotson. Tanner Marston Durham. Mackenzie Lee Eberhard, graduating cum laude. Julia Autumn Edwards, graduating magna cum laude. Jillian Marie Foster, graduating cum laude. Aaron James Frenchie. Jaden Daniel Futrell Yawa. Abigail Grace Govero, graduating summa cum laude. Noah Taylor Gramling. Joshua Edward Grover. Devin Caleb Harris. Cameron Takora Helsel. Mason Paul Henke. Ethan Patrick Holmes. Tyler Joseph Horn, graduating summa cum laude. John Patrick Howell. Vincent Owen Huntsberger. Lola K. Irizarry, graduating summa cum laude. Avery Drew Jackson, graduating magna cum laude. Michael Patrick Jarvis. Casey Nicole Giles. Renaya Ruby Jones. Jonah Lynn Casper. Alina Simone Kelly, graduating cum laude. Hayden James Kemp. Mila Carolyn Kemp. Quinn Edward Kennedy, graduating cum laude. Charles Theoden King. Cadence Breeze Kohinski. Andrew Lamont Leach, Jr. Alyssa Marie Leffler. Gage Hoyjun Lassire. Brady Olin Lewis. Amber Nicole Littleton. Megan Marie Maher. Oh, you look it. Catherine Jane Matthews, graduating magna cum laude. Trevor Gray Matthews. Piper M. McCarty. James Parker McGee. Trey Michael McGow. Dominic Joseph Metlock, graduating summa cum laude. Grishma Malparu, graduating summa cum laude. Ian Russell Nixon, graduating cum laude. Joyce Niramuchu. Ashley Regina Padilla. Man Kumar Patel. Mackenzie Rose Patton. Camille Marie Perkins. Isabella Denise Phillips. Anasia Montanique Poston. Ian McAllister Preston. Tyler Douglas Prize, graduating summa cum laude. Carson Blake Quinn, graduating magna cum laude. Angel Marie Quirk. Morgan Walker Rigo. Jacinia Lisbeth Roa. Nancy Christine Roberts. Alejandra Rodallegas. Cindy Rosales Delgato. Sequoia Evelyn K. Ross, graduating summa cum laude. William Alexander Sanchez Dominguez. Audrey Avery Ella Sands. Nadia Alisa Renee Scarver. Ryan Jeffrey Schmitz, graduating summa cum laude. Lily Marie Schneider. Dylan Ray Schooler. Reese Madison Schuster, graduating magna cum laude. Iris Dolores C. Lyric Nicole Shannon. Caitlin Marie Sheehan. Justin Vaughn Shields. Jacoby Tyler Simpson. Benjamin Michael Skikis. Adam Raymond Stanley. Connor Jason Stockman, graduating cum laude. Madeline Kathleen Stockman, graduating summa cum laude. Nathan Alexander Cease. Lauren Elizabeth Swan. Braylon May Taylor, graduating cum laude. Emma Therese Louise Thornburg, graduating summa cum laude. Jacob Alexander Titoni. Ilana Consuelo Tomas. Aticia Diamond Turner. Eldon Gregory Versba. Anakin Wana. Marvell Malik Washington Jr. Jordan Alicia Wickham, graduating magna cum laude. Ian Connor Wiley, graduating summa cum laude. Arion Antoine Williams. Rachel Karen Williams, graduating cum laude. Skylar Paige Williams, graduating cum laude. Piper Lee Wolf. McKenna Barbara K. Wolf. Nicholas James Yackley. Travis Yang. Gavin Michael Uhouse. Olivia Josephine Zier, graduating summa cum laude. Ladies and gentlemen, St. Charles West High School, class of 2024. At this time, we ask that all guests remain seated until those on the dais and the graduates have recessed from the gymnasium. At the conclusion of the recessional, guests may meet their graduates in the Upper Commons area located to my left. On behalf of the School District of the City of St. Charles, its Board of Education, Administration, and St. Charles West High School, thank you for the honor of your attendance at today's ceremony. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Graduates, please rise. Family, friends, and honored guests, I am pleased to present to you the St. Charles West High School Class of 2024. Graduates, you may turn your tassels to signify your graduation.
Thank you, you're awesome. No.